Hello and welcome back to our channel Happy Bellyfish. Today we will be making two things. First, I'm going to show you how to make paneer easily at home, and then we will make palak paneer with fresh green spinach and without using any tomatoes. So paneer is essentially a soft fresh cheese made with just two ingredients, milk and citric acid, which can come from lime or lemon, and you can also use vinegar as an alternative. I'm going to use 2 liters of full fat or full cream milk. That is the most important thing. And from this 2 liters of milk, we will get around 250 grams of paneer. The choice of milk is the single most important thing here. Skimmed milk or low fat milk will not do. You need full cream or full fat milk. And if it's not homogenized, and if you're lucky enough to find unpasteurized milk, then it's even better. So take a large colander and put it in a large bowl like this, in which you will collect the whey water and place your cheesecloth inside the colander. This cheesecloth is a very thin muslin cloth, and not all cheesecloths are the same. The one preferred for making paneer or any fresh cheese is this muslin cloth because they're very thin and they're easy to twist compared to the thicker cheesecloths. Once this is done, we will cut 2 to 3 lemons and get around 2 or 3 tablespoons of fresh lemon juice. Ideally, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice is enough, but 1 extra tablespoon acts like an insurance. You can also use white vinegar for this, but I prefer lemon juice because I like this slight citrusy taste in the paneer. But make sure that you have removed all the seeds and the pulp from the lemon juice. So we are done preparing. We will now bring the milk to a boil. So take any large pot that is sufficiently thick and large enough for holding up to 3 liters of milk. Add the milk to the pot and keep the heat on medium. Since we are using a milk that is not homogenized, some of the milk solids will start sinking down to the bottom of the pot and stick there and start burning. This can give a very unpleasant taste to the milk and also to the paneer. To avoid that from happening, take a spatula, a wooden one preferably, and stir the milk gently, scraping the bottom of the pot. You don't have to do this the entire time standing there watching the milk, but every 2 minutes or so, you have to repeat this step. In a few minutes, you will notice that the milk has started to come to a boil. You will see more steam, more bubbles along the sides. Now we have to wait for the milk to come to a rolling boil, which means that the top layer of the milk starts to rise, and this happens very fast once it starts. So keep your other hand on the knob of the stove, and as the milk rises and before it falls off the pot in despair, lower the flame completely. Now add the lemon juice to the milk. You can start by adding 2 tablespoons first. Wait for around 30 seconds and stir the milk to see if it has started to curdle. If you think it hasn't curdled sufficiently, you don't see the light green water and the solid separated clearly, add 1 more tablespoon to it. That's your insurance that I was talking about. 2 things that you need to keep in mind here are that the flame is not completely off. It is at its lowest setting and you have to keep stirring gently. Do this for around 1 minute and then turn off the flame and leave the milk alone for 5 minutes. And now that I have my 5 minutes, I must tell you that this curdled milk without any shape is quite often given at breakfast. In my house and in several houses, we call it chhena, and it really works as a great source of protein. You cannot drink 1 liter of milk in one go, but you can have this chhena or fresh cheese that you can get from this 1 liter of milk easily. Alright, now we will drain this and collect the paneer in the muslin cloth. People usually discard the whey water away, but because it's quite nutritious, I'm going to keep it. Collect the muslin cloth together from the top and start squeezing it so that the water starts to drain and the solids remain inside the muslin cloth. This can be very hot, so you can take a bowl of cold water, dip this sack of paneer in it and keep twisting the muslin cloth. It is also dipped in water to wash off the extra citrusy or vinegary flavor. While it's nice to have this citrusy flavor, it can feel bitter in taste if it is in excess. What you don't want to do is squeeze the paneer too much or too dry, otherwise it won't hold into a shape. When you see the steady stream of water turn into trickles, it's time for you to stop the twisting. Now untwist the muslin cloth and lay it over a smooth flat surface. Use your fingers to spread the paneer evenly, flatten it a bit and then put a quarter plate on top of it. Now it needs some weight on the top to become firm. So add a weight like this stone mortar, and the one I am using weighs around 2.5 kilos, which is sufficient for this quantity. We will let this paneer sit in peace for 15 minutes. Now the whey water is not a waste. People usually drain it away in the sink. It's quite nutritious, so if you do not want to waste it, you can add it to your curries, lentil soups, smoothies, or to the dough with which you make your roti or flatbread. It tastes very similar to the water that collects on the top of the curd that you make at home, and it can last in a refrigerator if it's stored properly for up to 3 days and up to a month if it's frozen. Now it's time to unclothe the paneer, not yourself, and see what's inside. The paneer is firm enough, it's ready, it will hold its shape, and when you press it gently, you can feel that it is soft and not too firm. When you have to use this paneer in a recipe like butter paneer or palak paneer that we are making, slice it into 1/2 inch or 1 inch cubes, and you can see that it's quite soft and it's very creamy and very fresh. Now, how do you store paneer? Let's say you want to use it tomorrow or 2 days later because the guest you are making it for didn't turn up. Take a container with sufficient amount of water and submerge the paneer inside it completely. The water needs to be replaced every second day or whenever it gets cloudy if you're going to store it for, let's say, 4 days. But we are going to use it right away in our next dish, which is palak paneer that everyone loves so much. The spinach is first cooked, made into a puree and then combined with spices. That's a basic recipe. And there are many ways in which you can make it, but I'm going to show you the way that I use at home quite often, which is steaming. So let's start with the basic ingredients first. For this recipe, I'm going to use around 450 grams of spinach. We call it palak, and that's how the name palak paneer comes. These palak needs to be washed and rinsed thoroughly. Now let's prepare the other things that go into the recipe. Take 1/2 cup of sliced onion, 1 tablespoon of ginger, 1 tablespoon of garlic, and 2 chopped green chilies. Place this together in a bowl. We are going to steam this, so it needs to be a ceramic or a stainless steel bowl that can withstand heat. Now place the bowl of aromatics and the spinach on the steaming tray. They need to be kept separate. Don't mix these together. We will steam it for around 5 minutes, and that should be sufficient enough for the spinach to cook and also for the aromatics to mellow down in flavor. You can use a normal pot which has a lid and steam it in that as well. So we are done steaming for about 5 minutes. So take the bowl of aromatics out and keep it separate and remove the steaming tray with the spinach from the pot and allow it to cool. You don't have to dip it in cold water. We will blend the steamed onions and aromatics into a paste. Don't blend it together with the spinach. Once again, remember that. It will save you time, but it will ruin the flavor completely. Now blend the spinach into a fine paste and add not more than 1/2 cup of water if it is necessary. And you will have a smooth paste like this. So here is your cooked spinach paste and the basic aromatics paste that is ready. Now we will prepare the 4 most important ground spices that we'll be using today. Take 1/2 tablespoon of coriander powder, 1 teaspoon of cumin powder, 1/2 to 1 teaspoon of chili powder depending on how much you want, and a 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric powder. And when you're new to a recipe, sometimes this kind of preparation of mixing all the ground spices together helps quite a lot. And these are the whole spices that we will need. 1 teaspoon of jeera, 2 tej patta, 4 green cardamom, and 4 cloves, 1 inch of cinnamon or cassia. Add 2 tablespoons of oil or ghee to the pan. Add all the whole spices first and cook for about a minute until the aroma of spices get very strong. If you hate the cardamom in your mouth while eating, which many people complain about, you can scoop them out now. It's optional and totally a matter of choice. Add the paste of onion, ginger, garlic and chili now. and these were already steamed, so you don't have to cook it for very long. Cook for just about a minute. Now let's say you did not steam it, you just wanted to add this raw to the pan, to the oil. Then you will have to cook it for longer, about 3 to 4 minutes, until it turns soft. Add all the ground spices now, and as you stir, mix all the ingredients in the pan evenly. Add salt, and because the spinach is sweeter in taste, we will balance it with 1 tablespoon of kasuri methi, which has a bitter but earthy taste. Mix one more time and add the pureed spinach into the pan. Wash off the utensil or the blender jar that had the spinach puree in it with just about a quarter cup of water and add it to the pan. You have to be very careful not to add too much water at any stage while making this recipe. Otherwise, you will end up with a very thin sauce that will not taste very nice. We will cook for just around 3 to 4 minutes, and as soon as you see the boil in the spinach sauce, you can lower the heat further. Start adding the paneer cubes now, and I do not like to fry these. They are really soft and creamy and they blend in quite well with the creamy sauce of spinach. And don't just serve it like this, icebergs floating around Greenland. You need to mix the paneer with the sauce. Taste the sauce now to check if it has enough salt, or if you want to add some more chopped green chilies to create lasting memories. Mix once more and cook it covered for around 3 to 4 minutes and then turn off the flame. There's one more ingredient that I like to add at the end. 1 tablespoon of yogurt. We did not use any tomatoes here, so this gives a nice sourness to the palak paneer. It also makes it creamier. So here's the thing about this dish. If it were to be in a beauty contest, it would have never even qualified. So to make it look nice, garnish it with some fresh ginger juliennes, sprinkle some bright Kashmiri red chili powder and some crushed black pepper on the top. Only at the time of serving it. All of this together don't just enhance the looks, but also give a nice layer of flavor and a spicy bite. Palak paneer is best enjoyed with roti, any flatbread or white rice. Alright, so we have come to the end of this long video, how the milk became paneer and then married spinach to become palak paneer. I've tried my best to show in as much detail as possible, but if you have any questions, then please leave a comment and I will see you soon again.